Diane from Diane and welcome to another video by me. And this week we are going to do this card again. That sounds silly, doesn't it? This is a regular size card which is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. But I know that there are a lot of people on my group, which is my Facebook group, which is Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. They like a larger card. And I did say when I make this card that I would actually make this card as a 7 by 5 and a 6 by 6. So I'm going to do the 7 by 5 version today for you. And now I'm going to use the same stamp set, which is Leaves of Holly. And I'm going to do the leaves and the holly again. I'm not doing it in black this time. I'm doing it in a different colour. So I'm doing it in shaded spruce. And so I've done my leaves for you and the holly. They're all ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to be using the paper that goes with this, but I don't know. Hang on, here it is here. It's called Boughs of Holly, this paper, and this is very dark as far as I'm concerned. It's a little bit too dark. This one's very pretty, so we're going to be using that one and this one here. But it's got some pretty paper in it. Some of the reds are a little bit dark, but the greens are really pretty. So that one's a really nice one. And that one looks like a forest. I'm sorry, these are upside down, but anyway, so that's the paper we're going to be using along with this stamp set. Now I've done a bit of the stamping, so we're only going to be stamping the one saying, because I've done the other two because they were embossed, and this one says Season's Greetings from Our House to Yours. So that's the only bit of stamping we're going to be doing. So as I say, we're doing this card but in a 7 by 5, so let me pop that card away and I will show you what you need. I've done a little bit of the work here as well because there's quite a bit of it. So let me pop these over here and we'll show you what we need. Okay, for our main card we need a piece of card that measures 7 by 5, and then for our front W panels we need a piece that is 7 inches by 10.5 inches. For our V piece of the panel we need a piece that is 8 inches by 4 inches. Now for my layers, for the back of the card, which is, I call this the back of the card, not the writing panel, the back of the card here, you'll need a piece that measures 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 and 6.5 by 4.5. For the writing panel on the very back, which is exactly the same size, 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 and 6.5 by 4.5. Now if you want all these measurements in metric, please head over to Diane, because there you will find all the metric measurements on the written tutorial. For my V panels, you'll need 3 pieces, and the piece that goes in the back of the card here. Right, you'll need 3 pieces of card that measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then 3 pieces of designer paper or whatever you're going to put on top of them. I've got a red one to go on top of that one that I've actually stamped and embossed. This one and this one are designer series paper, and that one's been embossed too, and they are 3.5 by 3.5. Then you'll need 4 panels, which I've already stuck 3 of them together, that measure 2 1/4 by 6 3/4, and 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 6.5 by 4.5. So that's all our pieces that we need to make our card, but in the larger size. So let's pop all of these pieces over on the side here and just work on these pieces right here. So we'll pop this 7 by 5 piece on one side for a moment, because we'll just do our scoring on these ones first. So we're going to bring our scoreboard in, and we will score our V panel first, which is 4 inches by 8 inches, and we're just going to score this using the small end of our scoring tool at 4 inches. And that's all the scoring we're going to do on the V panel. On our other piece, on the 10.5 inch side only, we're going to score this at 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10. And that's all our scoring done. So we're going to start with our this panel here, and we're just going to just notch these ends off a tiny bit, each end of this at the 10-inch end where this little tab end is. Okay, so then we're going to fold this as a mountain fold, a valley fold, a mountain fold, and this tiny tab as a valley fold. Okay, so once we've done that, we're then going to bring in our piece that is the 7x5 piece, and we're going to glue this to the back of there like that. The reason we're doing it on the back, we're going to put a panel on the back, so we're not going to see that anyway. So let's, glue this panel onto here, and then we've got our basic card shape. Now the reason we did it in 2 pieces is because you can't get a piece of card unless you're buying the really huge piece of craft card that is the right size. So we want to pop that in so that it folds over nicely and is flush top and bottom with the rest of the card. Once we're happy with that, we can pop that down and we can give that a good squish down on the back here, like so. And as I say, when we put our writing panel on the back, which, let's see if I get it, you're not even going to see that panel there, that little bit. So that's why we notch it in. Okay, so while that's just drying like that, we will then pop our other panels onto this one. Now I've got, as I say, I've got 3 out of the 4 already, and this time I've actually decided to do them as different colours. So I'm going to do them like so. Well, let me glue this one to this one. And remembering, if you've got a directional paper, that you need to keep your direction in the correct orientation. Keep getting my sleeve caught on all those bits and pieces there. I'm not normally a long sleeve person, but it's because it's still spring. It is, well, early summer, I guess you could call it. Yeah, it's still having a few chilly mornings, and because it's morning at the moment, I've had to wear long sleeves. It's actually quite an easy card to put together, and it comes up very, very effective. So we've done our 4 panels on here like so. And as you can see, mine's a tiny little bit out there. Not much, just the smidgenest little bit. So I'm going to actually just use my scissors just to trim that, just that tinsy bit, just on the edge there. You can't even see where I took it in now. Okay, that just was annoying me. So then we're going to pop our back panel on here like so. So that's why I did my other panels this way, so that this all matched straight through. Oh, come here. That's why I hate long sleeves. I usually push them up out of the way. So that might be happening in a moment. Okay, that's our 4 panels done, 5 panels done in general. So this is our card now, and it looks the same going across. So we're going to now pop that out of the way for a moment, and we're going to work on our other panel. So this is our V panel. We're going to fold this in half along that line, and we're going to glue our other ones on. Now we need to work out, let me pop that one with that one, which one we're going to have on the front. Now I'm going to have the Christmas wishes on the front, so I need to put that on my left hand side with the words at the bottom. Now if you're stamping afterwards, now I'm lifting these sleeves up because they're annoying me, then that's fine. You don't need to worry about which side you put what on, and unless you're going to make sure that your pattern is up the correct way. So unless you have 2 panels with different pictures, the same as I do, like designer series paper, then you won't need to worry about whether you're going to stamp, or you can stamp it and then put the layer on after you've added it to your card, so that you know you've got it the correct way around. For me, I'm popping it on like so. Now we're going to bring our back in our card, and we're going to pop this into here like so. Now we know that we need to try and match this up top and bottom and side to side. So once we've got it roughly where we think it's even. Now if you wish to measure it with your tape measure and, you know, rule or whatever, and then mark it with a pencil and then get rid of the pencil marks afterwards, that's fine. For me, it doesn't. I'm just going to eyeball it. But what I am going to do, because you're not going to see this, I'm going to draw a line down that edge there, so that when I open this up, I know how far I'm going to put my glue on this side, so that I don't go over that line. Then I'm going to close this back over like so. I only need to close one over at the present time, and glue it down in place. Once I've done that, I can then close the other one up, and I can see that it's roughly, well, just under halfway, I guess. So I will do the same on this side, but I can't put my ruler mark, my pencil mark there, so I will judge it. If you wanted to measure that part first and then put the mark on the other side so that it matches, you can always do that as well. Okay, so that's our front of our card done. It opens up beautifully, as you can see. It won't open flat, and that's the whole idea. It's not meant to. It's supposed to stand as a WV card. Now, to put the other panel on, what I found was the easiest way is I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together. Again, if you're stamping and you want to put one in at a time, that's easy enough to do. Just pop the one in and then do your stamping and pop the other one over the top. I find it easier just to lay this straight on top of this. This is the same size as this green panel here. So if you match that up with that, like so, and then put your glue on, or if you've got double-sided tape, that doesn't matter, you can do exactly the same with that. So we're going to match that up so that it matches up perfectly with that one. Bring the back over on top of that and squash it down nice and tight. once you've done that, you can bring that back, and you know that that isn't going to be lined up behind the other one, and it won't be seen like so. Okay, so let's do our bit of stamping for the back of our card, and I'm going to be stamping it in shaded spruce. And here's my word. Oh, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. Just words on the back. I'm not as you probably know by my cards, I'm not a big fan of a lot of extra things for my insert or my writing panel, whatever you want to call it. So just give that a second to dry. We'll glue these two pieces together. Pop that, oops, a little bit of glue popped out the side there. Glue this to the back of the card. Now in my other video, I think I mentioned that it would be easier if you actually stamped and popped this on first because of the not being straight. Or you can't lay it flat, you can always lay it out like that. Making sure that you've got it the correct way around, because you want to make sure that your writing panel is up the right way, because I've actually put mine on upside down before now, and I'm sure if you've watched my other videos you would have seen that and gone, you've got it the wrong way up. But you didn't yell loud enough for me to hear you. Okay, so that's our writing panel on the back. That's our card. Now we're just doing a little bit of decoration, which I'm going to pop a couple of leaves here with some berries, which I'm going to pop all up onto dimensionals. So let's pop some on here. And I did get asked, do I use these edge pieces? The answer is that yes, I do use them. Very much so. I don't like to see things get wasted, and there's nothing wrong with those bits. So I'm going to pop one of these on here, like so. And then the other one over the top of it. Now I'm going to just pop a tiny little bit of glue along that stem bit there, because that's where the two are going to join together. That way they're not going to move. Let me put my pin in the glue. And my berries over the top, like so. Okay, now I've got some dimensions, some embellishments here, and I think I'm going to go with these ones. These are clear faceted gems, and they're retired gems. Everything else on here is not retired. This is all in the mini catalogue that is to 2022. So if you're watching this video in another year, then it would be retired, but these are retired, and I'm just going to use them because I think they are a nice size for what I want. So I'm going to pop the smaller ones around here like so. And that's my card for today. Now I hope you've enjoyed the 7x5 version. There's the original version, and you can see how much difference it is inside. So we will be doing this again in a 6x6 version, probably not as a Christmas card, and I really think that that's come up beautifully, and I do like this black one, I must admit. So if you've enjoyed today's card, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. If you would like the written tutorial either in this size or this size, just check the date on the video, and the date on the video is the same date as the date for the written tutorial, which you will find on my Facebook group, which is DIE stands for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. You'll find the link down below here. So I will see you again next time. Bye for now.